Okay, well, welcome to week two, and I hope you enjoyed week one. Week two is going to be about the essentials of making the team and working with individuals to create that dynamic team experience. And so by now you all should have read chapters 2 and 3. Those are kind of two of my favorite chapters in the entire book, where Thompson goes through the 3 basic essentials in creating a team. And it's bring adequate knowledge, skills, and abilities. So if a team has the adequate knowledge, skills, and abilities, they increase their chances of being successful. The other thing is if they exert the motivation and effort, which is easier said than done. So if a team has the skill set, and if they exert the effort, or if they feel motivated by the project, then they ultimately increase their chances of being successful. And then the third one is if they coordinate the activities and the attitudes. So I like to break these up into 3 different areas, and I use this all the time in my place of employment with my teams that I work with. If you have the skill set, that's one thing. If you have the activities and the communication, that's the other thing. And if you have the right attitude, which is the motivation. So skills, activities, and attitude. And if you've got a team that has all 3 of those, skill set's great, attitude's great, and they work extremely hard, that team is going to be successful. More times than not, that team is going to function extremely well. And so, perfect example is, expert versus generalist. So when we look at, bringing adequate knowledge and skills and abilities to the team, a perfect example of that would be if this group, even though it's a group that is taking this course online, if this class were asked to improve the airport security or start a bagel shop, we would struggle. Even if we had great communication and we were online and we were talking about creating this bagel shop, the reason why we would struggle is because we don't have anyone that's really experts in that area, or all of us are not experts in that area. So there might be one person in this class that works at Einstein's, or there might be one person in this class that does work at the airport and could help us with that project. But for the most part, all of us, we don't have the skill set to do that. However, if we were asked to develop a high-performance organization based on management trends, our likelihood of success in that category, because we're getting our master's degree and we're studying this and we're making ourselves experts, the likelihood of success in doing that is significantly higher. Okay? The second area that she talks about is motivation. So what's in it for me? The motivation gain, the social loafing, the free rider. So I hope you enjoyed reading that aspect of this chapter. So you look at social loafers and the free riders, and I'm sure that as a result of reading that chapter, you started to look around your organization and say, ooh, that person over there is kind of a social loafer, or that person is just a free rider. And that's the point of going to school, is that you hopefully look around your place of employment and go, okay, now I see some of the deficiencies there. But really the motivation is key. And you can't motivate someone, but you can create an atmosphere where people feel motivated. And so that was the second one that she talked about. And then the third one, which is one of my personal favorites, is the idea of what are some rules to live by. So when we create teams, there are some basic rules to live by. And although you may not be able to see this, I love the idea of actual performance is based on potential plus synergy minus threats. So if you can manage the potential, so the potential performance, and you can manage the threats and get that team operating in the right way, you're going to reach your actual or your potential performance, or your actual performance. So AP equals PP plus S minus T. That's a big equation. And look at that. You can see that all over the place. So if you look at, even in the sports world, if you look at the Miami Heat, who's won 2 consecutive NBA championships, well, they had the potential 3 years ago to be great. But for some reason or another, they weren't gelling as a team. And so if there's egos, or if there's pride, or if there's jealousy involved there, that is a threat. And if you don't manage through those things, then all of a sudden you're not going to reach your potential. You're not going to reach your potential. So if you manage through those things, and if you watch the coach manage through those, then you've seen over the last couple of years that the Miami Heat have been playing together extremely well, and so now they're maximizing their potential on a daily basis. And so the rules to live by, and if if you look at these across your organization, you start to use these when you start to develop your teams, single-digit teams. So you can't have teams that have more than 10 people in them. And there's an instructor in this program by the name of Bernie Freed. You're going to have him. He basically says if there's a class or if there's a group that has more than 8 people, you're basically just meeting to establish when you're going to meet next. So anything over 9 is really, the group just becomes dysfunctional and counterproductive. The other thing is have an agenda. So if you ever walk into a meeting and, let me smooth that over, yeah. So if you ever walk into a meeting and there's no agenda, that meeting is doomed to fail. So if you're leading a team, always have an agenda. Always have something that you're working toward. Train together. So work as a group, learn together. Learning is okay. And a lot of times organizations or teams get stuck because they're like, ooh, I'm supposed to know everything. I'm the manager. But it's okay to learn from your team and ask them questions and help you learn and grow. Practice. Minimize links in communication and set clear performance standards. So those are the basics and some of the rules to live by. And if you have a team that does not have clear performance standards or does not have solid communication between the members as well as with the team leader, and if you don't train together and if you're not on the same page and the group is too big, it's going to fail. It's going to fail. And one of the things that I really like about this chapter, let me turn on the light here. One of the things that I really like about this chapter is, I believe it's on page 30, where she talks about this piece here. And so what happens is the larger the team, this is high performance, this is low performance. And basically, the larger the team, the less productive you're going to be. So if you have a smaller team, you're going to be more productive only because the communication is better. And I want you to just think about some of the teams that you've been a part of and really think about, how big were those teams? And so that is today's lesson. And then next week, we're going to look at designing the team. Thank you.